Sometimes you don't even have hundreds, Lopan. So I don't know what group you're going to get together with, put some money together, and try and buy a team. But I don't want no parts of it. No parts of it. I don't want my name on that. I don't want the Wait a Minute show, associated with that. Because I know you, and you know you, and the listeners know you. So don't be trying to buy no team. All right? Indeed. Yeah. You're probably not going to listen to me anyway. But there's news of Vince McMahon, that Vince McMahon of the WWE, possibly, maybe interested in buying the Panthers. Now, this is coming from a former WWE employee that works for ESPN now. The coach, if y'all don't know who Coach is, just look it up. Coach WWE or just Coach ESPN. You'll know what I'm talking about. So he's not saying that, Vince McMahon said he's going to buy it, but he's just, putting some connecting the dots out there because, Vince McMahon, got a restaurant in North Carolina. He spends time there a lot. I think he got some, roots, there in North Carolina. So he's just saying that, this might make sense, and if this whole possibly this football league that they're saying he may be trying to recreate again doesn't, come together, maybe this is something he can look at. So now, here's the thing why I'm going to say it will not work. And there's only one reason. The one thing that they were talking about was with Vince McMahon is that Vince McMahon, he can identify with these other owners. He is old. He is stuck in his ways, and he got a lot of money. So there's only one thing. Vince McMahon would probably be the equivalent of Mark Cuban of the NFL. And what I mean by that is that Vince McMahon will put a product out there. Vince McMahon will, entertain, and give his 100 all. Mark Cuban did. I mean, they got a championship and all this stuff, but that's not that part, the football side of it. I'm not really worried about that. I think it's just really what the person itself is. Vince McMahon has been going around not answering to anybody for years. And I don't know if he can really be a part of a group where he's not, like everyone right now in the NFL, as far as I don't want to say pecking order, so I'll use like hierarchy or whatever. When it comes to owners, everybody knows Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, they're up there at the top, of that level. And then you got all the other owners, and it trickles down. I don't know if Vince McMahon will be ready to just be part of the group. I think he really want to have a lot of say so, and I think that would rub some of the owners wrong, and they wouldn't be able to see eye to eye on stuff. And Vince might just, I'm just saying, Vince might just, not Vince Wright, the governor. I'm talking about Vince McMahon of the WWE. He might just step to one of these owners and be like, man, you better get out my face before I put one of these wrestling moves on you. So I just think that would, probably would be an issue. I don't know if he could be the get down, lay down guy. He just, nah. I'm not getting down and I'm not laying down. I'm going to do things my way. And if you don't like it, so what? And I think the owners see that, because Mark Cuban is an excellent owner. Don't get me wrong about that. It's just that Mark Cuban, he don't hold his tongue for nobody. He's just like, yo, I got money. I bought the team. It's my team. I'm going to run it the way I want to run it. And I'm going to say what I need to say. And I'm going to say what I want to say. He's a young, in comparison to the other owners, he's a very young guy. So I just think with him, it's just like, hey, If I don't like it, I'm going to say something. And I think Vince is the same way. If he don't like it, he going to say something. And then people going to be like, well, Vince, you just got here. And then Vince is going to be like, so, and, I'll put you in the camel clutch, So it's a good idea, but I just don't know if it will work out. I don't know if Vince McMahon really wants to own an NFL team, being that he also went against them as well, to a certain degree. But I am very interested in seeing who will probably be in the running, for these teams. Because I'm sure it probably come down to probably about 3 groups. I think they'll look at 3 groups and make the best decision, for the franchise and where they want to go. But they got to make sure it stays in Carolina, in Charlotte. So I'm hoping that they do that. We are slowly but surely moving on in this show, reviewing the sports world of 2017. So we're going to get back into some other stories that happened in 2017. But before that, we'll take another short break, and then we'll come back with some team that made history for the first time. And that team we'll talk about when we get back.
We don't take orders from super fools. We give them.
X-Go, give it to you.
Any and all resistance will crumble. Nonsense. There's never been a threat.
Squad.
Couldn't handle. It is the purpose of the
Squad.
to align our infamous forces against the powers of good and defeat them, leaving us, the rulers of the world.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota. Join the rest of us sports zombies on 2 Live Stews Radio. That's right, the boys are back. Doug, Ryan, and the rest of us, including me, the sports gov of Minnesota, Vince Wright, also known to the ladies as the Big Smooth. Keep it tuned here. That's right, 2 Live Stews Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I told you we'll take a short break. You are listening to the Wait a Minute Show with your man, Jelani JB Bodie, and Lopan is in the building as well. Indeed. And we are talking about the year of 2017, and we are reviewing some of the moments that happened. So we're talking about someone who won for the first time, and that someone is the Houston Astros. Franchise first World Series championship, and it took all 7 games for them to win. They won 4-3 over the LA Dodgers, which was, we had another great World Series. I mean, last year it was the Cubs versus the Indians. It went 7 games. It went extra innings and all this stuff. Not quite the same drama, but it still went 7 games. And that, you can't ask for much more than a 7-game World Series. And this franchise they moved from the NL to the AL. So, people were talking about that. But, it goes back to like guys like Jeff Bagwell. I remember Jeff Bagwell playing for the Astros, and they just could not get it done, back then. And it was, it was the city. Every city wants to win a championship. And in Houston, they had the Rockets, so it's not like they're just, missing out on, no championships. But, your baseball team's been around for over 50 years, and you haven't won, the World Series. And they got it done this year. So 4-3 over the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they had went on this run during the season where they really looked like they were just going to take over and shut down the baseball and just in general, and just be like, this is ours. This is our season. We taking it. Magic was out there saying that they were going to win. So when they had got to the World Series, it was just like, you got to believe them. They're going to win this thing, and it didn't happen like that. Yu Darvish had a horrible game 7. They pretty much figured out what he was doing, so they got up on him early, and the Houston Astros pulled out the win. So congratulations, to them. Now they are the hunted, and they will be basically playing everybody with a target on their back. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have because it means you won. And you know who else won? This guy right here. Yeah, Jelani J.B. Bodie, a.k.a. Fantasy Football Champion of 2017. Yes, I won my Fantasy Football League, 12 team. So I took down everyone, and I was the last man standing. So, yes, congratulate me. I'm patting myself, if you can hear it, on my back, because Lopan, he hating. He just mad because he didn't even make the playoffs in his fantasy league. So, but I'm going to go back in the chat. 334 Bama Boy is in here as well. He was talking about Vince McMahon. He said, Vince McMahon owning what team? Anybody counting his pockets like they be doing other folks who wants to buy a team, because Vince definitely don't have $3 billion to buy a team. I don't know about that, 334. I mean, he got some bees in his pocket. I don't know if he got $3 billion, but I think he got some billions, But I get your point. On it. My next topic. This thing, man, it was like a soap opera, man. It was like, no pun intended, but pun intended. It was like the show Dallas and the Dallas Cowboys and this whole Ezekiel Elliott thing. I didn't think it was ever going to be over. Now, at the beginning, they gave Zeke the 6 games. Everyone was telling Zeke, serve the 6 games, Zeke. Serve it. Just go ahead. Zeke was like, I'm not doing it because I ain't do nothing. You ain't got nothing on me. Your stuff is flaky. Your stuff is fishy. I'm going to fight it. And so he went to fight it. Of course, at the end of the day, we know he fought as much as he could, and he still ended up serving the 6 games. But more than anything that I just remember, from this whole situation in 2017 was I don't think I've ever saw so many rules, loopholes, whatever it is, Nintendo cheat codes, whatever it is that you want to call it. I don't remember that many times someone has got suspended, and then they'll say, oh, well, Zeke Elliott is suspended, and then, hold on, I'm getting something in my ear. Wait a minute, he's not. He filed the, choose or you lose, clause or something. And now he's back. And he plays in the game, and then it's like, well, he at least gonna play in 1 game. He gonna play 2 games, and then now he's back to being suspended again. Then he finds some other rule, or they file some other injunction, against the NFL. Now he's back playing, and then he plays another game, and it's like he just finally ran out of the 40-man Contra, up, down, start, left, right, start, select, BA. It's just like he finally ran out of the 40 men from Contra, cheat code. And then he served the 6 games. So I just never have seen someone find so many ways to play in the game. Normally it's a foul. They listen to it. I appeal. They listen to it. All right. I got to serve my 6 or I get it off. But it just seems like every week it seemed like it was never going to end. Shouts out to the Information Man Show, just joining us. Appreciate you for dropping in. But this whole Zeke Elliott. Now, I've said this before. If Zeke didn't do anything, shame on the NFL, for doing something like that. But I'm not really going to go into that piece, of it. But basically what this was about power. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Roger Goodell has all the power. He is the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And the only reason I think Zeke did this whole thing was at least just let me fight, let me try and play as many games as I can.